Wizarding Weekend is coming up. Let's talk about what it entails and how I've prepared for it. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
The Wizarding Weekend will be taking place this Friday, September 4th through September 7th, which is Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific time to 11 a.m. Pacific time, just like it always is. This time is going to be centered around Magizoology, so we're going to see increased spawns of specific Magizoology traces, and then Tonic for Trace Detection is supposed to also produce those same increased traces. The 5 Foundables they're saying will have an increase in spawn rates are Billywigs, Branch of Bowtruckles, Alchemy Eggs, Unicorns, and Newt Scamander. Also, when you return those Foundables, you'll have a chance to get Magizoology Runestones, so then you can use them in fortresses and that type of thing. So, since it is a Wizarding Weekend, it'll just, like normal, be one set of special assignments to do to get rewards, and then that would finish it for you. Starting with completing 5 or more Wizarding challenges with 3 or more teammates, which gets you 6 Snowdrop, which, as I always remind you, is 3 total people in the chamber, so you and 2 other people complete this requirement. Next up is using 1 Barufio's Brain Elixir. It gets you 1 Unicorn Hair. Unicorn Hair, by the way, is used in potent Extimulo potions. The Snowdrop from the last task is used for all the Extimulo potions. So my first recommendation is have a Barufio's ready to go. So if you don't have one already, just brew one sometime in the next week. Try to get some toadstools. I actually just planted some yesterday myself, so I'll be harvesting them later today most likely. But go ahead and brew one. If you haven't brewed one, just try to gather those ingredients and then just hold on to it for this step here. Next up is the task that'll probably take the longest out of this is to earn 800 Magizoology Family Experience. If you're new to the game, Family Experience is the experience on the registry page for Magizoology, that bar that goes up. It'll be getting that experience and not Wizarding experience that affects your level. And we're going to talk more about this in a little bit, and we'll go into my game and we'll see where I am, and we're going to talk about probably the best method to get this 800 Family Experience. Oh, that does reward you with a strong Extimulo potion if you do complete that task. The next 3 tasks will actually help you with the previous task, the 800 Family Experience. The first one is to return 15 Alchemy Eggs, and that's going to get you 1 level 2 Magizoology Runestone. Then it's to return 10 Unicorns, which is going to get you 1 level 3 Magizoology Runestone. And then the last thing is to return 5 Newt Scamanders from the Magizoology page, which should be spawning more like they said. And that gets you 2 level 4 Magizoology Runestones. And if you complete all the tasks in the special assignments, the final rewards are 200 Magizoology Family Experience, 3 spell books, 1 silver key, 1 wit sharpening potion, which I definitely don't find it to be. I find it to be one of the least useful potions, to be honest. I'd rather have an Extimulo potion from this, or even a healing potion would be probably more useful. But and then 20 spell energy. So yeah, the wit sharpening, that's just an odd throw-in that they did. Also disappointing for, I'm sure, everybody, and I know they haven't done it before, but they can certainly change things, would be for them to start giving us Defense Against Dark Arts books from this, or restricted section books. They should start to open it up, I feel, at some point, to not have it so gated and have just more ways for us to gather them. Along with every event, there will be some items in the store, Diagon Alley, that are particular to this event. Always starting out with a complimentary gift, which is always nice, which is just free stuff. And keeping with tradition, the complimentary gift, you can see right here, comes with the ingredients for a Tonic for Trace Detection. It comes with 1 Runestone, which is a level 1 Magizoology Runestone, and then they always give you 50 spell energy. Next up, they have the SOS bundle, which gives you 2 strong Extimulo potions, 3 Extimulo potions, 3 Tonic for Trace Detection, and 125 spell energy, and that's 420 coins, you can see. And last up is the Ministry Supplies bundle. It's 700 coins. It gives you 6 potent Extimulo potions, 2 Barufio's Brain Elixir, 3 Tonic for Trace Detection, 5 level 5 Magizoology runestones, and then also 125 spell energy. While we're talking about Diagon Alley, if you haven't already gone and claimed your complimentary gift, by the way, sorry, this complimentary gift is separate from this Wizarding Weekend. This has to do with their most recent, I say, changes to the Trace Charm, or clarification. Some would call it a nerf. They really, in the Trace Charm, the short version, Trace Charm always said you would gain more fragments when you increase your proficiency. And now proficiency doesn't work that way. You'll only ever get 2 fragments. You'll get your normal one, and you can potentially get 1 additional for opening up one of those nodes. And then proficiency will now really just affect wizarding experience and family experience from the Foundables that you Trace Charm. So people invested resources trying to unlock those nodes, thinking they were going to get more fragments, feeling that was a good reason to use those resources. So once Portkey Games, Niantic, Warner Brothers Games, once they clarified this, people essentially had buyer's remorse of, hey, I wish I wouldn't have spent those resources if it had been worded correctly. So trying to make up for that some, as well as some problems they had in Wonders of the Wizarding World weekend, they've given us this complimentary bundle you see right here. And so it's some field guides, ministry manuals, a couple Defense Against Dark Arts books, the 10 gold, and then that's why it's Wonders of the Wizarding World runestones, because it's also because of the night bus trouble we had during that weekend. They're trying to give us something. So I'm hoping maybe something more gets done, and this is just an initial olive branch out to the players, trying to say, hey, here's something at least to start with. But I know people that have did this, I was holding back anyway, plus I don't have a lot of restricted section books, but I do know that people end up spending more than what we're getting, essentially. More restricted section books specifically, to open up some of those nodes, and potentially Defense Against Dark Arts books. And if they did, it wasn't 2, it was probably like 10 or 15. So anyway, complimentary gift. If you haven't been to the store, go there. If you're not seeing it, restart your game, because it does require the game to kind of start from boot up. So if you haven't done that, just restart it and go to the store, and it should be there. Getting back to that task for 800 family experience, I guess 2 things I wanted to talk about. Number 1, if you're not sure what that means, I'm on the Magizoology. I'm in the registry, so go to your suitcase, go to the registry, and then go over to Magizoology. Once you're in Magizoology, you can see you have Newt's Case, Central Park, and New York City Street as 3 pages within that registry. Any of those Foundables that you return are going to get you a little bit of family experience, which the family experience, you never have a total of the amount you've ever gotten. You could do the math, I think. But if you look at the top of my screen, right under Magizoology, it says bonus, and there's this purple bar. You can see it says 79 out of 100. So every time you get 100, you rank up. So right now I'm ranked 65 with the asterisk, which is kind of the maximum rank you can reach, and it never goes above that. But anyway, that's keeping track of your family experience. The way you get it, though, and I'll just click on the Niffler here. The Niffler, every time you catch a Niffler, every time you return a Niffler Foundable, you're going to get a small amount. But every time you build up, so for me right now, I'm on the silver page. If I get 30 Nifflers and I'm able to place the image, when I place the image, you can see the rewards there. It says 100. I get 100 family experience for putting that Niffler down. And that's the 100 toward that 800 we're talking about. I'm not saying I'm going to get Nifflers. In fact, probably not, because it's not something that spawn rate has been increased. But here is one that has been increased, which the Billywig is going to be increased. I need 38 of them to place an image, but I'm 34 out of 38 now. So if I just get 4 more and place the image, I'm going to get 50 family experience for Magizoology. And it's because I'm on the silver page, I'm getting 50. If I was on the bronze page, I'd be getting 30. If I was on the standard page, I'd be getting 15, you can see on the screen. But if I was up at gold, I'd be getting 100 every time I place this image. And so you know, I guess in general, with all these events and family experience, how it works, and prestiging, you always want to prestige the page up. Your per fragment amount of family experience you earn from placing a fragment, and ministry manuals and anything else you would gain, is always a better, more efficient rate. On the very low level, let's just say that 3 fragments let you place an image down. and there are some things that do this. You get 3 fragments, you place an image down, and say you would get 10 family experience from that. Just throwing it out there, it's not even correct. If you get to the next level, it's usually going to be something like 5 fragments to get 20. So you're getting double the number, but not for double the fragments. Well, that efficiency just keeps going up. So always prestige pages. Even though you'll have to wait a little longer to place the image, when you do place the image, you're getting more family experience and more everything for less fragments returned. So just always do that. So for this event, 800 family experience. The way I'm approaching it right now, and I can't show you on the Thunderbird, but it holds for some other Foundables, so you'll be able to see this. On the New York City street, I will be prestiging this page, hopefully soon, because all I need is the Alchemy eggs and a couple more Alchemy. So look at the Alchemy. I'm 12 out of 14. This is a Fortress Foundable, so you do not get this from the event specifically, except more runestones are going to come out, so I'm going to run Fortresses and use those runestones and hope to get these fragments. So the Alchemy, every time I place the Alchemy right now, I get 250 family experience towards that 800. So I have the Alchemy, which is going to give me 250. The Thunderbird, which I can't click on because it's ready to be placed, and if I do it, it's going to place it. That's going to give me 250. So if I get 2 more Alchemy, which I think I will, that's 250 and 250. That's 500 right there. Coming back to this Central Park page, the Myrtlap, also a Fortress Foundable. By the way, if you're ever wondering, if you're ever on a page and you're looking and you're wondering, well, how do I figure out which ones are from Fortresses? If you click on it and underneath its name, Mountain Troll, very high threat Foundable. The Erumpent, again, high, it says underneath it. Even ones like the Demiguise, very high underneath it. If you click on the Myrtlap, underneath it, if you look, there's nothing. It does not give you a high, very high, medium, severe, emergency. If it doesn't say anything, that means it's a Fortress Foundable. So if you ever are wondering on a page, if you can't find an image and you're wondering where you got it from or where you can get it from, if it doesn't have an actual trace level, then that means it comes from Fortresses, and you need to run Fortresses with that runestone from that family. So the Myrtlap here is in the same situation as the other two, that if I get 3 more of this by running some Fortresses, that's going to be another 250. So if I can manage to get those 3 images, and I'm not saying this will be the method you do, but for me, if I get these 3 images and place them, that's 750 family experience toward 800. Which means I'm almost there at that point. And honestly, already if you look down on this page, the 3 of the things that are going to be increased are Alchemy eggs. So for me, Alchemy eggs, I'm 14 out of 15, but even if I had to get all 15, which is the task to return 15, it's going to give me 75 just for doing that. In addition, when I return an Alchemy egg, each time you return it, you're going to get a small chunk of family experience. And then the Unicorn, I need to get 10 of them for the task anyway. It's going to give me 120 experience. And Newt, I'm 4 out of 5, but I need to get 5 anyway, so I'm going to get 5 more, and he gives me 200 for placing him. So just simply following those tasks and being able to place images is going to hopefully get me to that 800 just as I go along. Keep in mind, you may not be at bronze. If you're at the standard level, you're going to get 100 for Newt, you can see. But if you're up at silver, you're getting 350. If you happen to have this page at gold and you get enough Newts, you're going to have 600. And again, these are going to be increased spawns. I would recommend using your Trace Charm on Newt because the potential for him to create more of himself would be good. And even if he doesn't create more of himself, just if he does the cloning of himself when you use that Trace Charm, at least that's 2 more Newts, which should give you 4 fragments total, 2 per, if you've increased at least one of those nodes. In addition to getting family experience from the traces that have been increased and placing those images, don't forget if you go into Fortresses, whenever you're in a fortress, use a Magizoology runestone and actually get a Magizoology fragment back. You're going to get a bit of family experience from that as well. They also could potentially come from port keys, but there's no way to target a Magizoology port key, so that would be pure RNG, so not a reliable method to hunt down. I would more recommend running Fortresses with the runestones that you get awarded and placing images. And If you're watching this video right now, look at your registry. If you have any images that are just about to be placed, if you happen to get the last fragment, don't place the image. Hold on to it like I'm holding on to this Thunderbird here. And prestige when you can, of course. Before I end this video, I did want to give a quick mention that the full moon is happening Wednesday. So the werewolves right now. Werewolves, I actually got one last night. They should be available starting now, going up until, it should be Friday. It's really 2 days before and after the full moon. So werewolves on your oddities page, if you need them, they are available. And lastly, if you look at my screen here, you can see at 393,000 experience out of 400,000. I managed to make a pretty good chunk in it yesterday. A lot of it without even a Brewfios because I was running low. I've just gotten Toadstool back, so now I'm starting to brew them again. Really just from returning traces. I did actually do 2 trace charms yesterday, and both of them were on emergencies, and I got more emergencies, so that was a pretty good chunk there, but really just grinding through. So I'm definitely getting ready to head out and level up, and you'll see that in tomorrow's video. All that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Knox.